Radio Hereford FC, the only station with full match commentaries of the Bulls. Every game, every week.
Hello and welcome again to We're Going Down the Pub with me, Frank Williams, and again with the great Mr. Simon Wright.
Oh, you'd love to get stuck in there, mate. Otherwise known as the two Ronnies, apparently, according to Facebook, which is okay. We've had some other comparisons, but they're not quite so flattering.
There's Clive Live.
Oh gosh, no.
But we were more akin, we thought, to the Cray twins, Ronnie and Reggie. Might be a little bit more accurate. Right, Shortwood United. We're rather late in doing this, purely because we were waiting for all the ticketing issues to get sorted before we put this guide together. But it is one of our shortest trips.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's 45 miles from Hereford. If you know Forest Green, if you know the way to Forest Green, you're sorted. They're half a mile away from each other, although you can't go from one to the other. There's a green forest between the two. Now, here's a line I want to get in. I'm sorry about this, but you can't see the wood for the trees.
Very good, son.
I've been working on that one for days.
Have you got any more like that? If you have,
there may be.
Keep them to yourself.
Okay.
Keep them to yourself. 45 miles, decent enough journey, but access to the ground is maybe not quite so easy.
Oh, it's famous or infamous, you know. It's the last 600 yards, which are very, very narrow lanes. You either need a thin car, or if you're Reg, you're going to have to find a minibus, because the limit is 12 metres long for the coach.
Reg has already put up on away days that there's going to be a shuttle service. Now, a minibus shuttle service has been used at this ground before.
Famously, yes. Probably the biggest game in Shortwood's history when they played Port Vale in the FA Cup.
That was only in the 13-14 season.
It's not long ago. Just under 1,300 people got in there, and every single person, including the teams and the referee and the kit man and everybody, went up those 600 yards in a little shuttle bus, which is an awful shock to Port Vale, but you know they overcome it and they won 4-1, I believe.
Yeah, now that was a record attendance, 1,247. They lost 4-0.
4-1, okay.
Shortwood, but that's the biggest game in their history so far, and I think anything anywhere near that sort of attendance is going to be tricky for them, particularly as this game is on a Tuesday night. It's not a Saturday game, which it's
going to be a rush, isn't it? And for that reason, obviously, forget the train. It's hopeless. The last train out of Stroud is 8:30, so that's not an option, guys. I'm sorry. You're going to have to drive there or rely on somebody like Reg to get you there on a small coach.
Yeah, no, I know that they are running. They are running buses, Reggie's running buses, and it's £10 for members, £15 for non-members, and I think that it leaves Edgar Street at 5 o'clock. I'm not absolutely certain on that, but if you check on the Hereford Away Days Facebook page, you'll get all the details.
We ought to be on commission here. We're doing a fantastic job.
But Reg listens to our broadcast.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, so we've got to give him a plug.
Indeed.
So he keeps on listening.
And talking of plug, we must say big thanks to Gloucester-based bull Dave Baker, who's basically done most of the legwork, liaising with Shortwood, visiting the ground, taking photographs, etc. So good on you for doing that, Dave. We appreciate it.
Okay, so let's have a look at the ground, which is the Meadow Bank ground. It's called, it says here on my sheet, capacity is 2,000. But I believe it's been restricted to 1,300.
I think that sounds like a typical Wikipedia optimistic forecast based on wishful thinking and a wet finger in the air, to be honest.
I think it's downhill with the following wind on a wet Wednesday would be 3,000 if you're lucky.
Okay. Now, Dave Baker has been there on our behalf, and it appears to be a ground sort of built in a natural hollow, if you like. There's two small stands, small sort of concrete stands actually built built into the bank, and Dave understands that one of those will be ours, and probably one of those will be for the home supporters, all 93 of them probably. And also, I noticed between the two stands there's a park bench. Now this is a big issue, who's going to get the park bench? Is it going to be us? Is it going to be them? Do we need to get there early with a big towel and reserve it?
Maybe we ought to take a gazebo and use it for our radio broadcasts, because
I'm liking the sound of that, mate. Yes. It's a typical small Gloucestershire ground.
I must admit, when I saw the photographs, I sort of said it's a bit Lytown in that you've got grass banks. If you remember at Lytown, there was one end. There was one end that was covered, and the other end was a grass bank. Well, actually, in this case, I think both ends are grass banks. There is no that sort of, and the stands look very much sort of like the one at Lytown. Only there's two of them, and they might not be quite as big as that one. So
no, and it's not quite as modern as Lytown.
I think if it's a wet night on that Tuesday, there could be a lot of West Herefordians finding their way back onto Reggie's coaches.
Yeah.
I don't want to travel on those. I wouldn't like to travel on those coaches on the way back if everybody's got that musty smell. That'd be horrible.
Well, we're grateful it's August. If we go in there in December, I think that will be really
that's
hard
one thing. At least we'll be getting there in daylight.
That's right. That's right.
Now, parking. We said that getting to the ground is issue, but there is parking.
As I understand, again, thank you, Dave Baker. There's a small amount of parking at the ground. I believe there's an area called the Green, which is nearby, but they're going to open with arrangement with a local farm a field, and I believe admission is by a sort of charity donation. I assume it's a small amount, which is fair enough, but getting in and getting out is going to be interesting. And I also really ought to, at this point, ought to mention disabled access for the benefit of the disables. The word is just purely because they don't actually have any disabled people. They don't have a sort of formal parking area as such. So, obviously they're aware of the legal responsibilities. So what they say is ring them, and they'll do their very best to sort out a space near the turnstiles. Getting in is not a problem. They can open the gate next to the turnstiles, wheel people in, no problem. And they believe that wheelchairs will sit very comfortably on their concrete hard standing.
There is concrete hard standing.
There is, yeah. So,
but again, it might not be undercover then.
No.
No, so that's something we have to consider.
No, it's August, Frank. It's holiday. It's bound to be sunny and bright. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Sun always shines on Hereford. You know that.
I've heard that before. So the next big issue I think that we need to look about is access to food and drink, which is a lot of people. It's the main interest.
Exactly. Yeah. I think occasionally some people didn't actually watch the game, but
quite Nailsworth isn't bad, actually, is it?
Nailsworth is an interesting village. It's a shame we go in there at night, really, because that obviously limits the options. There's a few options. Obviously, the clubhouse at the ground is the obvious option, and again, I'm sure that they'll be doing real ale, and I'm sure that it's £3 a pint, which is basically the same as Edgar Street bars, so that's fair enough. But it is small, so unless you're early, you're going to struggle. So, what I would suggest, there's two pubs nearby. You'll have to pass both of them if you're driving, so it's quite an easy one to do. The nearest one is the Village Inn. That's a mile away. And handily, that's the brewery tap house for Nailsworth Brewery.
You're listening, Reg? You're listening?
Yeah, they do 8 real ales. Now, to be truthful, they're 8 real ales you've probably never heard of, but hey, let's be adventurous. Let's go and try something a bit different. They normally do a happy hour, where beer is 50p less between 4pm and 7pm. No guarantees they'll do it for us. I can imagine they hear the sound of ka-ching in their ears and probably we'll forget that one. But, how good is that? Real tap house a mile away from the ground, okay? If you need some nosh, and, people are going to need some nosh if they've gone straight from work, a little bit further out, maybe a mile and a half from the ground, is the Britannia Inn. That's a big open plan pub, very extensive menu. Okay, it gets mixed reviews on TripAdvisor. It's pub
but
food.
If you're an early arrival,
exactly, you're going to be fine. And they do Green King IPA.
That's why it's got mixed reviews.
You will pass both pubs on your way in if you're driving, so it's no
I know a lot of
hardship
people
to
who
find
actually
them.
won't pass them. They'll try them both.
Yes, interesting one.
Now, you lucky people out there are getting this guide as an audio, but if you want to recap on any of the information, there are some printed versions online of most of this information.
You'll find them in the Erudite fanzine Talking Bull, which is going to be out very, very soon. It's a less formal, more off-the-wall version, shall we say, because it doesn't have to follow programme conventions. So that's a little more earthy, as we say. It will be in the club programme, Jamie permitting, of course. I would imagine it will be in the FA Cup game, which presumably will be against good old Alvechurch on the 20th. So
I hope not,
for
mate,
that.
because it's a Tuesday before.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting...
Yeah, but if they print it again in the programme for the FA Cup game, then Jamie's running out of ideas.
Oh dear, yes, apologies
It's all
for that.
those awards that he won last year for the programme.
God.
Yeah, but yeah.
You know what it is? I'm actually working on the 6th and 7th guide now,
right.
so I'm getting very confused what goes where.
Normally, Jamie does put the ground guides also up on the club website, and I'm sure
Yes,
that
time permitting, he will. Yeah.
Obviously, this game is on the 16th, which isn't that far away, and
Bring it on.
absolutely. Well, that's enough for this guide, and we'll all hear from you soon. This beer that we're drinking today, if anybody ever wants to join us for doing some of these ground guides, we're in the Wagon and Horses in Halezone, Mick and Dawn O'Neill's pub, and the BFG, the Bradley's Finest Golden Ale, is remarkable.
That's a particular invite to everybody, but notably the Backcountry Bulls.
But of course, we're not telling anybody when we're doing these recordings in order to keep the cost down. We'll see you again soon. Thanks very much for listening. Bye now.
This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls. Match Day Live.